Hello my dear Scorpio, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between January 16 and January 31st, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I want to wish you a happy new year and happy holidays for everyone that have a different calendar. Thank you so much for the year that just went by and all your beautiful, beautiful support. So I used the Chart of the Hidden Realm by Barbara Moore. And illustrated by Julia Jeffrey, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, I see the Five of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. It seems like, yes, this is about the feminine, the emotional part of the feminine, like the emotional part of Scorpio, the feminine part of Scorpio has felt left out in the cold, like it wasn't appreciated or wanted. So it's like being over emotional, being over dramatic, and everything else that might be seen as shameful or not wanted in our current society. And when we are denying certain part of ourselves, they become in the shadow, and therefore they actually become over dramatic and over emotional and all those things. But it's actually a means of control. How to control a person is to make them not love themselves. So it seems like Scorpio is faced with this, that you need to love also the very emotional and sometimes dramatic part of yourself. Queen of Cups being sometimes said to be the drama queen. Queen of Cups is also your intuition and everything else that has been put aside in a very square kind of society that we have been living in, where everything needs to be very scientific and logical, and where you when people's own personal experience of things doesn't really count. But here I think there's a need for the personal experience to come into a place of more respect. Okay, so you need to respect your own personal experience and kind of not bother so much what other people think of you. So I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the Queen of Swords now, also together with the Queen of Cups. So some of you might be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. But this is the head and the heart. So the head and heart needs to be in perfect balance. For many of you, you have been in a relationship with someone that is disconnected from their heart. Or you might have been together with someone that's disconnected from their head and only taking emotional decisions. And this is also applying to you, that you can have been either a head person or a heart person. And now it needs to be a balance between both. No one has more authority. So when you align with yourself, actually the head and heart will align too, like magic. You will see it's working perfectly this way. So your Queen of Swords is your mental capacity to have a very clear head and also to be a little bit judgmental, while the Queen of Cups is more about being empathic and being able to walk a mile in another person's shoe. And now you're going to be able to do both. So that's great. And I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. And here we have a Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is about like fighting very hard for a mission. Also standing up for what's right, and also standing up for yourself, or standing up for the weak, or it can be different things, but it's strength coming from inside and from being non-conformative, like not being a person that walks their own way, and even in the strongest resistance you stand up for yourself. So it's Mars in Leo. I call the six elements earth, wind, fire, water. This is fire, water, spirits and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio viewers. Yes, and here we have the moon as well. Queen of Cups is usually Cancer, but in this case it's the feminine part of Scorpio. The moon card is the feminine realms, it's the deep subconscious, it's the moon, it's it's the knowledge that you get from kind of places where you shouldn't get knowledge. We are used to read knowledge in books, not to get them through dreams or to listen to your own heart or follow your intuition. But with the Ace of Wands and the Moon, this is what you are doing now, Scorpio. You are following your soul into the realms of the moon, into your subconscious. So, and we really need the torch of enlightenment when going through the moon phases. And both the Seven of Wands that you had and this moon card are depicted with horned females. So it's showing this with the horned signs like Capricorn, Aries, Taurus. So it's talking about the body, it's talking about nature, it's talking about rock solid stubbornness. So it seems like you need a lot of stamina to take yourself through this situation that you're in, and in this situation you will also find the light, because in the moon is about things that's hidden. It might be pain just roaming inside of you, specifically when there's a full moon. We are going to have 2 full moons in January, one in the beginning and one on the 31st. So this is going to be a time when you have the chance to awaken parts of you that's very sharp. We can see with the fox here, it's parts with you that's very aware and awake, and also a little bit cunning, like have the ability to take you where you need to go. And it seems like you need to go through the enchanted forest and find something in your subconscious. So follow. If you feel restless one night, you feel like there's pain inside or a little bit anxiety and you really don't know where it comes from, just stay with it, because it's the moon calling you. Usually when the moon calls you, you go into this state of silence and not so much action, and you just stay, and something wants to be born through you and into this world here, with the Ace of Wands being a new start. Okay. So, where were I? So I will want the spirits to join us here today and give us a clear view reading for my dear Scorpio viewers. I want my dear Scorpio to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So my dear Scorpio, I will take a few seconds to tune in to you and this reading. Okay. So my dear Scorpio, this is your future, this is your now, and this is the past. So the past is December, first part of January 2017, and we have the Three of Wands here. So Three of Wands is Holy Trinity. It's like when when the 3 different parts of your soul has been aligned towards one goal, like the warrior, the witch, and the inner child. All aspects of you are aligned. It's also talking about doors finally being open, decisions being made. Your future is lying ahead of you. The decision is taken. So destiny is kind of set with the Three of Wands. It's also a very stubborn card, like with a lot of stamina, going the miles to get whatever it is that you want, and also not taking any comfortable compromises, to just compromise about something so you will get peace but not really get what you want. This is more, it wants more from you. It wants you to actually really work towards the goals that you want to have. For example, you might love a person, but you can't accept her personality. She might be having different tendency that are abusive, for example, but you love her, so you want to be with her. So you might take a comfortable compromise to be with her and put up with her, the abusive sides of her personality. But instead, what you're supposed to do is to stretch a little bit further. Like, yes, you love her, but you will not have peace and harmony with her until she has started to respect you and your boundaries and not abusing you anymore. So you need to stretch like a little bit longer, a little bit further. And this is also goes for cross watchers that's dealing with Scorpios, and there's some trouble in paradise. Okay, so that was in the past, December, first part of January. This is the second part of January, Page of Pentacles. So this is your the inner child that we saw. So it seems like it needs to be focused more on who you are as a natural person. Go even more deep into your natural self. Trying to align more and more with what you truly want. Like, a person can be very childish and rebellious and do rebellion against their wife, their friends, their boss, everything, and they think this is to be themselves, but it's clearly not. The person is doing rebellion because they are vulnerable, because it's something that they want to claim, I don't care. Because it's something that hurts so bad that they want to say, I don't care. See, I can wreck this. I can destroy this. I can put this on fire because I don't care. But so when a person acts like that, it's really not them. It's really just they are playing games to run away from themselves. So this is something else. It's something deeper. Okay. And that's in the now, second part of January. This is the future going into February. And here we have the Five of Cups. So Five of Cups is kind of the downfall, what you have when you start to align with yourself. Because your surrounding won't really be up to speed with your change. The change is going on within you. It's not going on within them, your personal changes. So what they will see is your outside, how it's shifting, and that you might become more stubborn, more rebellious. You don't take any crap anymore. So Five of Cups might be a lot of disappointment that comes up when things are not longer as we are used to. When people are maybe not putting up with our personal crap anymore, or maybe we need to sacrifice a relationship and the love that we feel because we are like this, my way or the highway, I'm going to be myself now. So with this comes a lot of pain. So it's kind of a reminder that our relationships are valuable. So even when we sacrifice them because we need to align with ourselves, it doesn't mean that the love go away or that the mission is done. It just means that you are one step further on this road. The next steps might be to make peace again and to have people to forgive us for what we have done to them. So everything has its place and its time. So it's to not jump into conclusions or not jump into the future. What you do now is what you do now. The consequences of your action will come later, and then you deal with them. Many people are so afraid of consequences, so they get crippled and not doing anything. But here it seems like you do whatever you need to do regardless of the consequences. And the Five of Cups is usually it's like this tsunami wave of feeling that comes when this person that acts so rebellious but really were self-destructive, when they stay, instead of doing this outward behavior with rebellion against anyone, they just stay with the pain that causes them to make revolution. And that's the tsunami wave of emotions that's just hitting them. And this is also seeing what you need to do, Scorpio, to stay with the pain, with the moon cycles that will come. It will trigger a lot of pain, and it's just to welcome it. It's this song, Dolphin's Cry, I think it's the name. I will put it in the description box for you when I figure out the group and the song title, so you can see what I mean, because it's perfect. Even the video to this song is perfect. It's older song, but it's going to tell you exactly that you don't need to run away from your feelings anymore. Whatever you have done to avoid them, you need to instead you need to face them, so you don't have to avoid living your true life and your true destiny, because when we are fearful of our own feelings, we avoid a lot of things. We avoid people, we avoid relationship, we avoid showing vulnerability, we avoid telling people that we love them. And if we are not afraid of our feelings anymore, it's nothing to avoid, okay? So your past here, and here we have the Queen of Cups. We were in the Scorpio age, and then we went into Sagittarius. It has been very evolving for us. When we went into Scorpio, many that hadn't done this earlier, they woken up their feminine side, and this Queen of Cups side of them, specifically masculine people, finally connected with their heart. And this is the part of them that were not allowed to be. You are not supposed to be a girl, you're not supposed to be a sissy, you're not supposed to cry. So she had been like a lost soul parts, and very very tormented and pain-stricken. So people that have picked up this Scorpio part of themselves will go through a great deal of pain now to welcome this queen back in your life. It's like being eaten by a shark alive. But then when this is over, you have the power of the shark and can swim in the subconscious deep sea without any problem. So it's actually a reward in the end of the pain. Okay. Yes, and here's the moon. We have had some powerful supermoons since fall, and they have been coming with gift after gift after gift to us. But it has been a little bit painful and a little bit disturbing, and without any real outer circumstance making this pain coming up inside of you. Just stay with it. It's not dangerous. It's just the frequency that wants to roam inside your body and kind of make the necessary changes on DNA level, on atomic level. So it's many people are very afraid of pain. They see pain as something evil, but it's actually not. It's just like angels talking. It might hurt your ears, and if you look at an angel, the eyes might catch fire, and pain is really trial by fire, and it's very painful vibration, painful frequency, but it just wants you to it's like indulging a little bit every day, and you will start to build up a tolerance for it, and then finally it will have changed you, made an evolution on you, and you will not be the same person as you were before. And here we have the Ace of Wands that also came with the Moon card before. So it's a new beginning. It's like your soul being invited down, because now when the pain has done its work in you, you are vibrating on a much higher frequency, so your soul can take room in the temple that's your body. So it's going to be very lucky for you with this Ace of Wands there. A new start, a new spiritual start. And here we have also the Three of Wands. So it's Holy Trinity. It's like divine is building you like a puzzle, making all the pieces going into the right place. Very wonderful. Okay, and here is the now, and here we have the Star card. That's the depiction of the divine and of healing, healing with this Queen of Cups here. And you have the 17, the Star, also 18, the Moon card. So Moon and Queen is usually Cancer, as I said. But here it's talking about you integrating the divine parts of your feminine, empathic, vulnerable skills. Okay, so it's like inviting the witch, and this is a very white witch. So it's not going to make you weaker, as you see with the Ace of Wands. It's actually going to make you stronger and very resilient. Because emotions is Scorpio's superpower, and if you can befriend it and learn to swim in this energy without being in resistance or in fear, you will open doors to things that you could not imagine before. When you don't have fear anymore, there's a lot of possibilities. Yes, and here we have the Ten of Swords coming with the moon. So it seems like you are going to have to go through a little bit of a death. It's these portals. It's like dimensional portals which you need to almost be pressed through. So it's going to be painful, and you're going to have to leave a lot of, like Ten of Swords is a lot of like in the way you have been working before, your survival skills, your different projections, the way that you always react, all those things is going to have to be left in the past here. So many of you might probably have this also happening on the outside, leaving a lot of things in the past, sacrificing a lot of things, maybe because they are painful, maybe because there might be some abuse attached to this, because it's also like a reality check with the Ten of Swords. You need to check your like your friend circle, the people that you hang out with, also the people at work, the people that you have love relationships with. Is this really good people? How do they make you feel? Are they make you feel like you always need to fight for their attention or for their approval, or maybe they are not a good crowd for you. Maybe they are not supportive enough. But of course, people can also be angry with you because maybe you are hurting them. So there's also time for self-realization here, and maybe to make changes. I see this image I had in my head again with this person doing revolution against everyone to avoid pain. Like they want to destroy everything. If I'm destructive, if I'm the destructive force won't have anything to, it can't hurt me if I'm the destructive force. But instead, staying with that hurt. And that's kind of die before you die. It's letting the shark catch up with you and eat you, and then see that it wasn't so dangerous. Also in your nightmares you can do this, like stay with whatever it is, ghost, thief, rapist, whatever it is that's haunting you by night, and say, okay, what do you want? And then you'll see it's everything in your dreams are you. So you need to embrace everything that's there. Yes, the world, it's like all of you, the complete you, the whole you. So Ace of Wands is a new beginning. The world is a closure. You can see the spiral on her chest talking about this ending and new beginnings. So it's like with the Ten of Swords here, it's also an end of a cycle. With the World card, it's an end of a cycle. So I think you are leaving a lot behind, things you don't need anymore. You don't need to be self-destructive. You don't need to be around self-destructive people. What you need is to become you. Page of Pentacles, very earthy here with this Page of Pentacles and the World. It's very Gaia-like. And here is your future going into February. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So it seems like these people that's going through this feminine awakening, masculine people probably going through feminine awakening, it might take some time. So have patience with yourself, or have patience with the masculine people in your life, because this is not something that you can fix from one day to another. If you for several thousands of years have been trying to avoid having the feminine side of you, the feminine side of this Holy Trinity, it's not going to take like a month and then you will be able to integrate it. It's coming with this tsunami wave of pain, so it might take years, like up to 2 years. If you're really working hard to always be aware and what you're feeling and what's happening inside of you, you might take that down to 8 or 9 months. But it's real. It's like a pregnancy. So Seven of Pentacles is saying have patience. You need to have patience with this. It's not going to happen overnight. So also have patience with your loved ones going through a lot of difficult things here, but it's actually there for their healing. And here we have a Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is this being in this watery realm of the Queen of Cups, but being a masculine person with the four that's connected to the Emperor. So it's learning this new element, becoming a water creature, being able to talk with your emotions. So it's like a lot of people needs to sit and meditate on this. You can see this very stillness in these two cards, just staying in the water element and let it splash over you and getting to know this energy. So it might not be the most outwardly time, more maybe if you have a loved one, you can stay in bed and hold each other's hands, or just spoon each other and just, you know, stay with what's inside and still be in connection. But everyone needs to work this through inside of themselves. No one can help them through this. And here's the Eight of Pentacles. So Eight of Pentacles is a very good cooperation card. It shows like people are being ready to work together to build something amazing. So if you have been with someone that has been destructive and working against you all the way, it might be that this is changing, or you are surrounding yourself with people that's actually more receptive to working together instead of working against. So it seems very very good, but it's still how it looks will be this, how it feels will probably be this, like a great tsunami wave of pain inside of you. But it's the white horses. So horses are very in tune with their instinctual nature, like here that's represented with the Page of Pentacles. Some of you might be dealing with a Capricorn, but it's probably just your shadow, this Capricorn, the devil. So horses are natural. You need to become natural and follow your natural instincts and feelings. Let them just hit you and then calibrate you until you are tuned in and actually probably connected to the Earth's grid again. Maybe you can start to talk with horses. The man that spoke with horses. Okay. Regeneration. It came upside down, but I'm not taking that into consideration. I will read also the last part of this card. That's for when it's in reversed. Okay, 46. So for you, my dear Scorpio, this is actually kind of your card, the bird phoenix rising from the ashes. In this case, it's a tree again instead, like the world card, Gaia, the Earth's grid. If you have watched this movie Avatar with the blue people, you know this tree. Rebirth, second chances, new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by, changing side, something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. Ending comes in many forms, and now it's the time to stop holding on to what must die. And it's the Ten of Swords card here. So that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include cycles, the world, disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. So that's good, Scorpio, because when you are since you are the one transforming first, if you transform, the other will follow. So that's good news for whole humanity if Scorpio can finally get to terms with their own emotions and their female empathic beating heart. Okay. She writes with Wild Spirit Unbroken. That must be a very suitable card for Scorpio. It can still be you. You just not need to be like the great destroyers. Destroy whatever isn't healthy, but don't destroy healthy things because you want them dead, so you don't have to be fearful of endings or losing things. You are a wild spirit. No matter how often you have been told no, being suppressed by rules and regulations, being denied a right to speak your crazy beautiful truths, inside of you beats a persistent loving heart that will not be denied. I knew that the wild joy in you would soon kick off its shackles of shame. I knew that no amount of criticism or disrespect could ever break the spirit of your heart. I knew that, even if you doubted that at times. Deep inside the heart there was a spirit so wild that it could never be tamed. I knew that it is only ever a matter of time before your wild spirit will rise and be free. So it seems very positive. Some of you cross-watchers might be scared, Scorpio being even more wild, but if they can, Scorpio can be themselves without the shame, they won't have to be destructive, okay? They can be themselves and love themselves without the hurt of me, my natural self, the seed that's me, how I was born, like this seed is wrong. So if everyone, even the most awful person on earth, finally can start loving themselves, they will actually heal, like with the World card here, and start to do good, because it's usually self-hate that reflects into hate of others or resistance towards others. Okay, my dear Scorpio, I hope this helped. Want you to take really good care, and Happy New Year's to you all. I also want to take the chance to make a little bit commercial for my new website, www.queenofcupstarot.se, like Sweden. I have almost the same content there as in this YouTube channel, but there's some advices how to get a personal reading. And for Swedish inhabitants, there's also a web shop where you can buy this deck, among others. But for foreign viewers or visitors on this website, I advise you to buy these products elsewhere because it's too expensive to ship a long way. Okay, so take real good care. Happy New Year's and bye bye.